Awesome. Hi guys. Welcome to another BNB Chain MVB applicant program. This is Chris from DoraHacks. It's my pleasure to host you guys today. So before we start, I want to explain that the projects that attending this demo session doesn't mean that you have been already being selected to the MVB program, but you will get a very higher chance to get more exposure in front of the BNB chain and also the BNB ecosystems. So that if you have a lot of potential or you get more attention from the users and the BNB chain team, it is highly you will get higher possibilities to be selected as the final MVB candidates. Yeah, so good luck with it. And today we are very happy to have 5 projects with us. They are WEEZI, Velvet.Capital, Bogged Finance, DeepSpace, and Hashtagger. So for all the audience, if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to ask in our YouTube chat room, and we'll ask the questions for you guys to the teams. Yeah, and without further ado, let's welcome the first project today to start, which is the WEEZI team. So yeah, Oleg, feel free to start when you're ready.
Sure. Hi, Chris. Thanks very much for the intro. Thanks very much, guys. It's always not very easy to start as the first person, but let me thank you first for this opportunity. If you allow me, I would spend a few minutes on just a few slides, diving you deeper into what exactly we're building with WEEZI, and then later on we'll go into the live demonstration of how this tooling is actually working. So, in essence, with WEEZI, we are building a supermarket for all on-chain investment strategies in one place. If you are familiar with the space, the easiest way to think about it is WEEZI is basically a YORN or InstaDApp 2.0, where you have a management platform for assets with intuitive interfaces, adding 2 additional functionalities. Number 1, you have more automated strategies with higher yields. Like if you compare, for example, your automated strategies in Curve, YORN on stable coins, you can get, I don't know, 3-4% at the moment. But then with InstaDApp, if you have a leverage strategy on stables, you can get 8% yield and higher. So those strategies, they become more and more complex. On the other hand, you have more functionality with DAO tools like multi-sig voting, accounting, and some other features that you cannot get at the moment anywhere in the space. So as we all know, both DAO tooling and DeFi ecosystems, they have grown very drastically over the last years. DeFi has grown to a range of 75 to 100 billion dollars over the 3 years, and DAO actually ecosystem actually 10x'd over the last 12 months to about 11 billions in TVL, and is continuing to grow. But both fields actually have a lot of struggles at the moment, right? A lot of bottlenecks and problems. So DAO tooling is pretty much like a jungle right now, that there's tons of projects, everybody's claiming the same. You don't know what's working, what's not, and it's very hard to differentiate. At the same time, when you talk to the clients, they usually come with 3 needs. So they either want a social DAO, so they would need like a community and discussion groups and voting, usually snapshot and off-chain voting. Secondly, they might need treasury or asset management to manage risks and maybe to get higher returns. And third, they need usually operational cost centers, so where they could have their capital and spend this capital on payments, on salaries, on grants, and so on. So with that, it means that once you start combining a specific DAO for specific needs of this organization, you end up having a very large variety of tool sets. And each of them needing very specific specialization, right? Like payments, for example, so streaming payments, or layered voting rights, accounting, and so on. And that leads you to the understanding that there is no possibility to get one DAO tooling for all it's just impossible to do. So that's why specialization is coming in this page, in this sphere. And with WEEZI, what we're doing is we're focusing on just one thing. This is the industry of asset management. So it's about managing money, on chain, and we're providing templates for specific investment needs, right? Like your hedge DAO, your fixed income DAO, ventures, syndicates, and so on, and just give you all the functionality for this specific need. With DeFi, there's another problem, right? So it is becoming very, very complex, very difficult for general public to understand how all the strategies work, because the generic strategies actually bring you very low yields at the moment. And with more projects appearing on more blockchain protocols and more investment strategy steps, it's just becoming also an industry for the specialized professionals, right, who spend most of their time on all these things. And then there's this never-ending battle in between automated strategies and manual strategies. So automated strategies, because they're automated, they have more trust, and as a result more TVL. But then they have lower returns, right? Yields, as they have like more money under management. Example would be Curve, Aave, and Yorn, and so on. On the flip side, if you look into the manual strategies, people, you have more flexibility to react to the market and new opportunities in DeFi market. But then it means that you actually have higher returns, but that means that you have less trust, because in the end of the day, you giving, I mean, there's this agency problem, right? Because you need to pass on the right to vote to somebody who would then allocate those funds, left, right, and center. So, and if you start automating the strategies, by the time you develop like a smart contract, audit it, and roll it out to the market, usually the yields drop, right? So it's always like the game of catching the train. So that's why you almost have the DAO tools, but you don't have a lot of assets under management because of the trust issue. And that's the problem with most of the projects or that are fighting this field at the moment with like your Enzyme, DHedge, and all the other guys, because the trust is always a question there, like who is making the votes, and why will they not run away with my money? So with WEEZI, we solve those problems in three steps, very simple steps. So with DAO tooling that actually work now, so it's not in projects, not in our plans, where you can actually deploy the DAO tools at the moment now on Ethereum, on Polygon, and BSC, now live, right? Secondly, we do we have a traditional fund structure in a DAO format, but with very critical functions. I'll explain it in very quickly. And then we have automated real-time accounting and transparent financials, which is like a big elephant in the room in DeFi space, which nobody talks about, but it's a big pain point. So with DAO tooling, we have three networks, as I mentioned, that are working at the moment. The testnet, also few of them are coming up. We have the templates that I just mentioned as well for hedge fund and fixed income, and then the venture syndicate NFT pools and GameFi pools that are also in active development at the moment. And what is also critical and important is that we have single interface for dozens of wallets, right? So you don't need to run 15 wallets on different chains and then try to account for all of them and manage them and all that. So we're building one interface with a infrastructure of master DAO and sub DAOs, where one master DAO actually manages all the other DAOs, and that we can run now on all individual chains, and we're working on different solutions to run it cross-chain at the moment. So you just need one interface to vote, through all different sub DAOs that you can have. Second thing, the problem with this automated manual strategies was solved with the approach of a limiter. So basically, first of all, our traditional fund structure is copied from your traditional financial system, when you have GPs and LPs, general partners and limited partners. In our case, those would be the the voting tokens and the community tokens. So the voting tokens would have the voting power. Community tokens would represent basically the assets that are allocated by the investors, or I don't know, the public, and vice versa. So So what happens then is that the LP tokens would then vote for the specific strategy, or basically whitelist the smart contracts where the assets can go, or and return from it. And the voting tokens, or the GP tokens, would then only act within those limits that are managed by the people. And if you need to adapt to the strategy to something new that appears to it, again, you change the whitelist, and then again the voting tokens would just then execute within the limits that are set in there. So this is a very interesting innovation that doesn't exist very much anywhere. And then, of course, the last but not the least, the most important thing is the automated counting. If you ask anybody who's running assets on DeFi right now, then everybody falls back to spreadsheets and Excel to account for what's happening, the financial performance, whatnot. Our solution, when you deploy a DAO, you have an on-chain accounter that runs all your historical price performance. From that, you derive all the financials like P&Ls, balance sheets, NAV, token prices, success fees, hurdle rates, and even the Sharpe ratio is calculated, live. If I could now try to, can I share the screen so that I can, show how the application works? Thank you. I don't think I have the functionality. Guys, I cannot share the screen, unfortunately. Share screen. No, it doesn't open. Can somebody help me? Sorry.
Yeah. So do you want to like do the project demo?
Yeah.
I think you should like stop the PowerPoint sharing, deck sharing first, and try to do the.
Yeah, so there's the functionality that says share screen. So I'm clicking it, and it just does. It says cancel, and the share button is just not active. So
I'm not.
Screen was canceled. Make sure you share. Okay, let me just see. Nope. Slides. New file. Nope.
Okay. Maybe we can continue on the deck first.
Yeah, but the deck is pretty much finished. So I just wanted to show you, if you go on the WEEZI webpage, basically how easy it is to deploy DAO, and then all the functionality with the with interfaces there.
Okay.
Just really like a minute to show it.
Got it. Yeah. I'm not sure why it does not work, because usually the presenter can just share the web page. Doesn't matter whether it's a deck or it's a website, as long as it's in the same browser.
Yeah, so it's Chrome. So
yeah, so
tab, entire screen
works actually, but
Chrome tab, WEEZI. Oh, okay. Well, let me see this. Does this show now?
Yep.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. Sorry for eating up a little bit of time. So yeah, so basically what I'll show you now very quickly is so this is the functionality, right? So as you go to WEEZI.io, you have this web page, you have all the documentation here with with tokenomics, if anybody wants to go through it over here. Then as you launch the dApp, it goes directly to the active page for the depositors and the DAO managers. So for people who would like to sort of select a DAO, you just click on each one of them, and you have the functionality of all the graphs, with historical performance of the price here. And of course, you can, click in different time frames to just see what actually happens from here to there. Then the net asset, under management as well. So what happened over time, you can see exactly. Then, of course, the APIs and the liquidity pools. The second thing, of course, is the monthly returns. It shows you exactly, how much this DAO actually performed from the first day of each month to the last one. This functionality is also quite handy. Like if you set up, if you set up, let's say, a certain success fee, let's say 20% or 15 or whatever, every time there's a new money that comes in or comes out, it runs the counter, WEEZI counter runs the on-chain accounting, and at the moment it just shows that, okay, for example, for this DAO, there's 11,000 something US dollars worth of accumulated success fees or carries, which are not withdrawn, right? So the investor always sees the price for the token at the NAV net of all the expenses, and the fund managers or the DAO managers, they can see how much this DAO actually generated for them. And by the certain time when they decide to withdraw this carry, like monthly or quarterly, they can just vote and withdraw this capital. And then you have also this on-chain validation here. So as you know, for you just to double check that, okay, this money is it here, or is it?
Yeah, sorry for
Mhm,
interrupt. It seems like
mhm.
the screen have been stuck at the main page of the website. We can now see
Oh, you can't. Oh, okay,
yeah.
sorry. Let me show you. Okay, sorry. So screen from tab, easy. Okay, yeah. So it jumps from one thing to another. Yeah, probably here. Sorry. So let me do it once once again very quickly. So basically, as you, I guess here, right? So do you see it now?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, very quickly, sorry. So basically you select the DAO, you come in here, you have the token prices. So yeah, you can just scroll through, all the graphs here and the timing just to see what exactly was happening to the price, to the net asset values here, the whole portfolio as well. And, the APIs and so on. So the monthly returns here as well. It shows you exactly what happened from the first day of the month to the last one. Success fees, exactly what I just described, right? It calculates automatically on this DAO how much money the general partners actually generated from this. If you set your success fees at 20 or 30 or whatever percent, then in here you have the depositable assets. In here you have the community tokens or the governance tokens, the wallets that you can cross-check, and see like what exactly is sitting on this wallets at the moment. The other very quick and cool functionality here is the functionality for the investors. So if they invest their token, like to this or that DAO, they can then they usually ask a question like, how much money do I make, right? So with this functionality, once you have the LP tokens on your wallets, you just connect it to here and go to my account, and it gives you a summary of what exactly you've invested over time, what's your value of the portfolio now, how much money you actually made, your returns, and the annualized returns, of course. And then it gives you the split by each individual token that you have on your wallet. So for example, you have 6,000 something tokens that are called Flex. You bought it at the average price like this at different time frames. The current price is this, and then you have all the financials here. Same goes for Dina, for BDQ, and whatnot. So if you have like a range of those tokens here, you just have like a summary that will happen here. And now, let me just show you how quickly you can deploy a DAO here. Let me see. I guess it's going to be this one. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 here. Yeah. So yeah, we're here. So let's say you go to, you can select different chains. For us, just for us to do it like a very quickly, if you don't mind. If you want to, let's say, launch a new DAO, you click a button. It's just 3 steps. So you can say you want to open up a new DAO that's called WEEZI test, let's say 111. Certain DAO descriptions here. You can either copy paste or whatnot, and then you go through the selection of the governance token, the community token. Again, you say it's WEEZI governance 1, for example, VG1 as the token. In here we have some preset parameters for each traditional DAO, but of course you can change the amounts here, and of course the voting rights and so on, and the durations. You click next. Again, you select the name for the community token, and for example, WEEZI Community 1, and then you click create. It just triggers the transaction from my MetaMask. I'm confirming it, and I guess we'll just wait for a few seconds before it's the DAO is created, and then after that we'll see all the functionality. While it is being created, if you allow me to yeah, so we can see that the percentages actually go very quickly. Let me just go through the functionality of the, okay, so you won't see it because I would need to switch, I guess. So yeah, we need just a few more seconds. Once the DAO is connected, is created, yeah, just a few more. So it's going to, yeah. The last stage is connecting to the counter on the backend to make sure that the numbers actually run automatically on chain for all the financials there. Yep. So we have this test 111 DAO. We click on it. We see all the details here. Of course, apparently it's very, it's zeros now because it's empty. So you go to the manage section, and the functionality shows here, the tokens that, the voting tokens that we just developed, and they here. So also you have the community tokens that you can also, see that they're active. Then you can make the deposit very quickly. For example, I could just say that I want to purchase one community token for 1 USDT on my wallet. And yeah, as I'm transacting, so I'm just confirming this transaction. It's going to go very quickly right now. Then it would, once I make this request to deposit this 1 USDT to the DAO, it would go to the voting procedure, and I will just walk you through the voting procedure very quickly, and we will see this this amount of money on the on all the new DAO that we have just created. So yeah, there was the confirmation first, and I know the video might be a little bit faster. So you can see that, okay, we just made this deposit. It went to the voting part that we're just waiting for the, for the upload. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I need to pass the transaction first to submit it, for the voting to make sure that I'm having it. So I'm going to the voting part right now. We'll see the voting procedure soon, and then yep, so it's here. So again, I'm approving it. It has all the descriptions, of course, which are which are being done at the moment. And once this procedure is done, so yeah, it's done. We can then go back to the DAO and see that right now, so we have all the addresses for the just created community tokens, the governance tokens, the DAO address, all of them here. And if we go to the agent, it just throws us to Zapper right now. So we could just check. It shows us exactly that on this DAO, we just deposited one USDT, and you have it here. And then, of course, you can initiate all the voting procedures to allocate these assets across different farming strategies. So that's that, I guess, for now. And Thanks for your time. Sorry, I've eaten up a little bit more time than expected, but yeah, hope it was useful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Oleg. Definitely, it looks a very interesting project. I don't have much questions here because everything is actually pretty clear to me. Thank
All
you
right.
again for the presentation. Yeah,
Thank you.
we're gonna move to the next project, which is the hashtagger. Hi,
Hello,
Saiba.
everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris. It's a pleasure to meet. Let me just start my cam and share my screen here. Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Putting it in full screen mode. Just a second. Use slideshow. Is it visible?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, so let's start then. Hashtagger is basically an airdrop marketplace which believes that airdrop rewards should be for humans, not bots. This is an important line for us. I'll explain in detail in the presentation what really does that mean and why it is so critical. So first of all, why did we opt for something like this? The reason why we opt for something like this is because we have gone through the life cycle of multiple projects, and what we saw was each and every blockchain project needs to go through certain steps, right? They need to build the application, decentralized application, security checks, fundraising, liquidity provision. And if you see, for each and every of these steps, there are standardized solutions which are available. But then there is one thing which is almost sometimes treated as an afterthought, which is building and engaging a community. Happens to be the core of any blockchain project, and yet there is no centralized solution on how exactly do you build and engage your community, etc. That is where hashtagger comes in. Because what we believe is that for decentralization, community is necessary. If you do not have a community, a vital and vibrant community, then what and whom are you going to decentralize your decisions to? And that is why without community, a blockchain project, a decentralized project actually cannot exist. Bitcoin led the way as always. It always understood that yes, a community is necessary, and it showed how to build it with something which was called faucets. Gavin Anderson developed this web page back in 2010 and 2011. And if you know a little bit about Bitcoin history, you must be smiling right now. What you had to do at that particular point of time was solve this CAPTCHA, which all of us do on a daily basis, right? You solve this CAPTCHA, you put your Bitcoin wallet address in there, click this button, and that's it. Within 20, like you will get 5 Bitcoins just for doing that. Every 24 hours, you can come back after 24 hours again. 19,700 Bitcoins were given away like this. In today's rate, they are worth more than $800 million, etc. And that is all it took. At a certain point of time, there was one person, one gentleman, who drained the entire wallet of all the wallets by showing a security flaw and then returned the entire money. So, think about it. He returned like more than $500 million actually. But that's the thing. People at that time were much more interested in building the community. They believed in the vision, etc. And that kind of led the way. Okay, this is what the model should look like. Not greed, but something about co-ownership. This is the model which we further took when Ethereum came, when BNB Chain, etc. came. The crypto community moved from faucets to airdrops, where rather than just solving a CAPTCHA, you have to do complex activities, such as joining their communities, talking about them, doing certain tasks given by them. Of course, the airdrops are now pretty famous. We all know about them. We know about the Uniswap's 2020 Uni airdrop, which basically just gave $12,000 worth of tokens to everybody. It actually went up even more. And the more recent ENS airdrop, hundreds of such airdrops go on every single week. We know about that. But what we do not know, or we do know, but we do not talk about a lot, is the problem with such airdrops. This is a famous example of a major attack which happened to a very good project, Ribbon Finance. Their own VC exploited their airdrop. They knew that the airdrop was happening. They made a bot. They did a Sybil attack. They pretended to be multiple number of people, hundreds of people, when there were only just one person, created multiple wallets, etc., and ended up taking away $2.5 million of token. Thankfully, this was spotted by some active community member, and they had to return it after being publicly named and shamed. But this is just one example where it was caught. What we have seen in Hashtagger through our thorough analysis is there are many, many such cases which are not being caught. In fact, hundreds of millions of dollars are currently being stolen away by invisible airdrop pirates. For example, this is one of the things that we checked. This is an example of something similar to airdrop. This is whitelisting for an IDO of like something which is highly lucrative with a prestigious platform, etc. It was, we can see that more than 23,000 people participated in it and so on and so forth. We did some analysis. We checked the people who were participating. We checked their messages, etc. And we saw that more than 70% of them were having less than 5 followers. Most of them were having 0 followers. And if you look at the messages that people were doing, this message was repeated like this many times. It is AA, N attractions, 2B, believe, best, better, faithful, future. I cannot even read that sentence. It's absurd. Like we can hardly, like it's completely a bot sentence. And like this grammar to be repeated this many times, no way, that is a bot. So what we did was we studied tens of thousands of projects and we studied millions of accounts to develop behavioral signatures on what does an actual person versus what does a bot look like, how do they behave when participating in an ad bot. And that is where we come for the demo. Also, we have been thankfully supported by all these people who have faced a similar problem. This is what we have done so far to solve that. Let me introduce you to you Hashtagger. So let me change my screen. Can you see my screen on Hashtagger, the actual live site?
Yep.
Great, perfect. So basically what you do is you get cryptocurrencies for tweeting. You sign in through your Twitter account, which you must already have. It must fulfill certain criteria. We'll check it. So let's say I sign it with my Twitter ID. Now what it will do is it will fetch my information from Twitter. It will see whether my account is eligible to participate or not first and foremost. Once it says that, okay, it is eligible, I'll have various statistics pulled in here. And then I will see all the current airdrops which are currently ongoing. There is currently a Meta Fighter play to earn airdrop is going. Nugo Cloud, a remarkable German cloud computing storage or decentralized manner thing, which is ongoing. All of these have different go to participate. You'll see all the details. If you can participate by, you can sort it by chain and so on and so forth. BSC is of course the most well-known one. For the example of this particular demo, we created a separate airdrop which was for MVB demo. So you can see the poster here. I'll try to click the participate here. So if I go here, I'll see that in order to participate in this, there are 800 chances of winning 1.25 USDC. Out of all the participants, we will, through a standardized method, do randomization, which is provable and therefore completely fair and transparent. Out of that, 800 people will be chosen and they'll be given $1.25. We can see the campaign statistics, how it has gone. The points have risen from there onwards. Currently, 330 people have participated in it, 235 people with 330 points. And we can see in the entire globe where exactly are people participating from. We can see there are people participating from Venezuela, people participating from Iran, India. But the most people seem to be participating from Vietnam and Indonesia. One of the reasons is because in these countries, a small amount such as $1.25 for one tweet is actually a decent amount and goes for some way. So we've seen a lot of traction, particularly in Southeast Asia. Let's see how does it look like. In order to participate, I have to, like, these are the rules. I have to push the next. I have to follow the given account. So I can just go here, follow the specified account. It automatically checks everything that I'm doing. I have to connect my wallet. My BSC wallet automatically connects here. So you can see, you come here, you connect your MetaMask or Wallet Connect, etc. So currently my wallet is already connected. It shows it here. Then you make a tweet. This is actually remarkable for bot detection. It automatically checks whether or not the conditions are fulfilled. Plus, it checks whether the same message has been previously used. So it says I have to include $mu, which is our cryptocurrency sign. I have to include these 3 hashtags, which include MVB, BNB Chain, etc. And I have to include this particular tweet, which is twitter.com DoraHacks status. Let's see which tweet is that. If I just go there, I see that tweet has already been quote tweeted 292 times because of this airdrop. If I go there, it is our community which is working, and which is basically showing, like you can see, Mr. Thichan, Mr. Liu Henglan, most likely people from Vietnam, etc. And you can see the detailed messages, etc., that they are giving in. So you can keep on scrolling and you'll keep seeing the results here. So we are doing the bot checks here. We see multiple checks, etc. For example, currently it is red, I cannot participate. I will have to put in a message. So this is a demo for BNB Chain MVB. So I put in a message and I'll now need to verify. Verify will check whether this is a unique message or not. It will also check various things and signatures of my own crypto account. And after this is done, I will be allowed to tweet. So I can now make the tweet if I really want to. And that tweet will then become the standard. I'll have to input the tweet URL here. Also, there are other descriptions and things that we can put in, such as Telegram connection, Telegram messages, and so on and so forth. And the result then becomes obvious. We see actual genuine people who are participating rather than the bots. And these are the people who then get the rewards. Not just that, as I said, we have actually looked at like actually millions of accounts in terms of analysis on what accounts look like, etc. And we have published detailed papers and public articles about what things, some of the things, not all the factors that we have made public. What things are we looking at when we are banning people? We ban many people whom we suspect to be bots. So if we look at, for example, this Google Doc, we can see the details. These are some of the parameters that we check, such as tweet engagement upon view percentage. So if somebody has, like, let's say 62 engagement but has only 11 views, then that is obviously a red flag, and we will flag that. Our algorithm will flag that and will ban that. Same thing for tweet engagement upon average engagement. If a person usually has only 1 to 2 engagement, but for just this tweet has hundreds of engagement, then we'll see the ratio. Like this person has that ratio of 137. That is obviously a red flag. We will ban them. Engagement per follower tweet, etc. So these are some of the parameters, but we follow many other parameters, and it's a constantly evolving algorithm which we have developed. And I believe that we are the proprietary developer of that platform and that algorithm. One of the reasons that we can develop is we continuously do many airdrops. Currently, there are 3 airdrops ongoing, as we can see. We have done like many dozens of airdrops so far, and we have huge amount of data, ours and from what our analytics bots use in other airdrops also. So we have airdrop data from hundreds of airdrops. Essentially, we use that to make this a safe space for humans, not bots. And why does that matter? It matters because that is how the community develops. We always have to remember this part, that unless until here people did exploit the security, but they were good enough to return it. If we allow the bots to take away the rewards which are meant for the community, then it is a bad thing for all of us. We have to make it safe, and that is what Hashtagger is trying to do. That is it from my side. Open to all the questions, etc. And I invite you all to participate in one of these campaigns yourselves, so that you can see exactly how it works. We are always welcome for feedback, etc. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much, Saiba, for the introduction. I think it is definitely a very funny, very funny and useful utility, especially for Web3 users. When there are too many unfair, trading and transaction from the projects and whales. When they can achieve basically more information than most of us. Definitely Hashtagger could be one of the moderators to balance and make it better. Yeah, definitely. Like what you guys are trying to do. Yeah, thank you very much, Saiba.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Like, we do believe it's like we spread, like, crypto as a community spends hundreds of millions of dollars per year in just airdrops and building the community. So we absolutely feel that it should go to actual human beings, actual community users. That's all from us. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you very much, Saiba. Yeah. And we're gonna move to the next project, which is the DeepSpace. Yeah, John, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me and see the screen?
Yeah.
Excellent.
We can hear you. Yeah, and we can see the screen.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having us. Good to be here tonight or this morning, depending on where you're at. And welcome to DeepSpace. So DeepSpace is a multiverse space-themed exploration strategy game on BNB Chain. You can see some of our custom art here on the opening page. There's our seven planets created by our 3D artist. You can travel to those in the game, do mining, do some combat there. We're going to be offering land sales on them a little bit further down the road. So what makes us different? I think our biggest difference, one of our big things we shine with is a game first mentality. So our team is made up of a lot of long-term gamers with backgrounds in technical and financial industries. We realize the importance of making an entertaining and engaging game. So that's the primary component and of a sustaining in-game economic volume. We recognize the need for cutting-edge game that users want to play for enjoyment, right? So we want people to actually have fun playing the game. That's one of our primary goals, which can compete not only on the blockchain-based games, but in the overall gaming industry. So with a solid gaming design and an engaging foundation, the implementation of the blockchain and financial aspects, they just naturally and reliably fall into place rather than be forced. We've got a really large team, consists of good amount of developers, artists, sound effects specialists, people writing lore, marketing, community mods, kind of the whole gambit. Could be leaving some out there. We're known for hitting our milestones. So we've had a few milestones pass already, and we've hit them. We're very transparent with our team. It's led to an incredibly strong community. Regularly get compliments on the strength of our community and stuff like that, which is really nice to hear. Some of the past milestones that we've had, we finished a CERTIC audit pretty early on. We created a referral program. So we actually developed an in-house referral program. If you use the swap site on our web app, you can actually get a referral link, and anybody who swaps in and buys our token with that referral link, you'll get a small percentage of that. So just kind of a bonus for our loyal community and loyal holders. Back in Q4, one of our milestones was to launch into testnet. So we launched our kind of an early alpha preview of the game along with our marketplace onto testnet. Got people on there kind of minting ships, buying and trading, selling ships, playing the game, flying around, exploring the universe and the planets and things like that. We have a community project update or an AMA that's on Twitter Spaces or Telegram about once a month. And we get on there and share product updates, answer questions for the community, things like that. And all of our AMAs are recorded and posted to our YouTube channel. So definitely, if you want to learn more about the project, reviewing our past AMAs is a great way to do that. So the token itself, we launched back in August 2nd, was the token launch. We have a total supply of about 100 million. We're on, of course, BNB Chain, token name DPS. Current circulating supply of just over 54 million, and we launched at about 4 cents. Of course, we are listed on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and of course, BSC Scan. So as I mentioned, back in December, we launched our testnet marketplace in game. So just here at the beginning of March, we actually launched our production mainnet NFT marketplace and ship minting. So we limited ship minting to only 7 days for the first Genesis collection of ships. So we're going to be doing multiple ship collections. We wanted the first collection to be pretty rare and sought after. It's known as our Genesis collection. So we only had minting for 7 days. Over that 7 days, 28,000 ships were minted by our holders. Each ship has 8 randomly generated stats, and we generate those stats with verified randomness using Chainlink VRF. One of the other random features is the combination of ship model and texture that you get, right? So you don't get to pick what kind of ship you're getting or what the texture is. It's completely random at the time of minting. So right now minting is closed because that 7-day period has ended. So if you want a ship, you'll have to shop our marketplace. But we will have a second generation of ships to be minted later on, closer to the actual full game launch. So one thing you see here is we burned 6,695 ships, so almost 25% of our NFT supply was burned. How does that happen, you might ask? So we actually introduced an interesting mechanic in our staking mechanism. So since the game's still under development, we launched a staking pool for community members to get their NFTs, doing something for them and earning. And one of the features we put on there is the ability to actually risk burning your ship for the chance at a higher reward of the staking pool. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. So at the bottom here, we can see we had only one 5-star ship minted, 32 4-stars, and then a larger number of 1, 2, and 3-star ships. This is our NFT marketplace. So we custom wrote this completely in-house. We wanted to do a custom marketplace that we controlled and we had the code for and could, customize how we want. Gives us the ability to do features that we need to support the game specifically. For example, one of the features we have is locking of ships. So early on, we realized we didn't want people to be able to start playing the game and then all of a sudden go out and sell their ship on the marketplace or rent it or lease it to another player while they're playing the game, right, and get dual purpose. So one of the features in our marketplace and our inventory is actually being able to lock the ship into the game. And that's what allows you to use the ship in the game. So the outpost here is the main tab. This is where you go to buy and sell ships, essentially. There's a filter over on the left. You can filter for all the different stats that are highlighted in the various colors. The gray here is your common, green for uncommon, blue for rare, orange for legendary, and then there's a magenta for mythic ships, which I think are a 1 in 900 chance. Pretty standard gaming rarity colors that we went with that, just for ease of use and familiarity with the community. This is our marketplace activity dashboard. So here you can see ships that have sold. You can see ships that are being listed. So if you kind of want to keep track of what's selling on the marketplace, what's getting listed, and look for, maybe you're looking for a good ship to try to snipe or find something you're looking for, this is the place to go to see the history. And of course, at the top, we have a chart that shows our floor price, which is the lowest price of a ship that's currently on the marketplace. So right now we're in the screenshots at about 140. I think the current floor price is about 200. So if you wanted to buy a ship right now, it would be about 200 DPS. And of course, this is filterable by all the same type of metrics that the outposts and inventory are. So here's the NFT staking that we did. It's called the Vault. And as I mentioned, we did some kind of cool things here. One of them is the ability to burn ships, which actually made our NFTs deflationary, which was pretty popular. So we came up with 4 staking pools, 2 for 1 and 2-star ships, and then 2 pools for 3 to 5-star ships. And each one has a safe pool and a risky pool. So the safe pool, pretty straightforward, right? You stake your NFT, you're going to get a little rewards back. The staking's running for 100 days. I think there's somewhere between 80, 70 days left, something like that. We put about 3 million DPS total into the staking pool. One very unique thing we did here is, so each ship, when you get the ship, we'll see in one of the slides coming up, the ships have a total level, which is the sum of all those stats. So we mentioned the 8 unique stats the ship has. So you sum up all those stats, and that's essentially the ship level. And the level will dictate the star rating of the ship. So what we did with our staking pools, we actually took the ship level and those stats into account. So the higher level your ship, the more share of the pool you're going to get. So if you have a 1-star ship that's a really high level, you're going to get a little more share of the pool than, say, a low level 1-star ship. And then, of course, the risky pool. This is where you have a chance to burn your ships. You'll see the average payout is 2 versus the average payout is of 0.4 right here. That's because there's less people in it. There's less people in it because there was risk involved. One of the stats on the ships is called luck. It's a luck stat. It's going to play into a lot of different aspects of the game, right? So think about anywhere where you're playing the game where you got lucky doing something. So maybe you got lucky and you landed a hit during combat where you wouldn't have. Maybe you got lucky and you mined some extra resources, or you didn't get attacked while mining. Maybe you got lucky and you found something while you're flying around and exploring the universe. So that's where the luck stat comes in the game. But we also kind of gamified it in the staking pool, and we use that luck stat to determine your chances of burning the ship, right? So if you had a maximum luck stat, you only had a 25% chance of burning the ship. But if you had a luck stat of only 1, which is the minimum, you had a 75% chance to actually burn that ship rather than making it into the staking pool. And you can see there's 4,600 ships made it into this high-risk staking pool and 408 made into that. So a lot of people out there were willing to risk their ships. And as a result, we actually burned 6,600 of the ships that were minted. So about 25%, which just something very unique, something we came up with that we haven't really seen done anywhere else, and wanted to try to be unique and gamify the staking a little bit. So we talked a little bit about the ships briefly. So the Genesis collection, there is a fighter class, a tank class, a support class, and a miner class. So for the Genesis collection, these are these specific models. These models aren't going to be seen again, right? So these are essentially retired from minting. They can no longer be minted. So when the next collection releases, down the road after the game launches or around game launch time, they're going to be different models. They're going to have different special abilities. So here you can see the fighter. It has a special ability of a cluster attack. So the fighter can use its special ability, lob a bomb basically at a main target, and it's going to split off and hit the other targets around it, right? So you'll do full damage to the main target and 50% damage to the surrounding targets. That's a special ability that ship has in addition to its regular attacks. The tank of this generation has a taunt ability, so you'll be able to target an enemy ship, choose to taunt it, and that ship will be forced to attack your tank ship on its next turn. So combat is going to be turn-based, so that's why the taunt comes in. That way, when that ship gets its next turn, it's forced to attack your tank. Our support ship is the healing ship. It's going to be able to heal other units, and the mining ship, not a strong use in the game. In the combat portion of the game, but really it's used for mining, going out and mining resources. We'll talk about here briefly. But in combat, it can attack land. So there'll be asteroids and things kind of in the combat screen that are in your way. Like you can't move through an asteroid, but your mining ship can attack that to take it out of play. Over on the right, we have a ship card that kind of breaks down the components of a ship card that we saw in the marketplace. So of course the fighter icon in the middle. We have the star rating in the top left-hand corner. Below that, the class. This is a fighter. The ship stats down below. Top center is the ship ID, so it's the NFT ID, the core type of the ship, and then of course the ship level. So as I was saying before, the ship level kind of plays into the stats and the total and the number of stars. So if we were to add up all of the stats on the ship, so we have speed, attack, special attack, mining, a luck stat, shields, special defense, and maximum health. So if we were to add all these up, they come up to 358, and 358 happens to fall into a 3-star ship. One unique thing we have is our NFTs are actually what we call smart NFTs. They are fully upgradable. So rather than having to destroy your ship or like this is just the ship you're stuck with, you can actually upgrade these stats by spending resources that you're able to collect in the game, resources and cores, and upgrade your ships. So you'll be able to turn your 1-star ship or 2-star ship into a higher star ship. One stat, which is luck, is not easily upgradable. So you can't just go out and get resources and upgrade your stat. You actually have to have very special and very rare drops within the game that we're currently calling Lucky Charms. And luck can only be upgraded by 10 points as opposed to the other ones, which can all go to maximum levels. So that's the ship card and some details about the ship. As I mentioned, there was a core type on the ship. So each ship has an engine or essentially a core that's kind of its power source that drives the ship. And the cores also give you kind of a paper, rock, scissors benefit or negative effect, right, if you're attacking the wrong ship when you're in combat. So for example, if a magnetic core attacks a mechanical core, it's going to have a slight benefit advantage in combat. So it maybe have a little bit better chance to hit, maybe do a little bit more damage, things like that. And the cores are also used in the upgrades. So as I mentioned, the stats of the ship and of the NFT are actually upgradable. So it's going to require resources and a core. The only way to get a core is to salvage a ship. Basically burn, destroy a ship, you're going to salvage it. You get back the ship's power source, which is a core, and then you're going to be able to leverage having that core to upgrade your other NFT. And of course, the core type's going to have to match. So if you have a magnetic ship you want to upgrade, you're going to have to salvage a magnetic ship to get a magnetic core. So through this method, we actually end up with another use case for having deflationary ship NFTs, which are the primary game piece. So here's some of our game development shots going on. So we do all of our drawing and asset creation in-house. Got a staff of artists, visual effects types folks. Some of the concepts we're working on in addition to the upgradable ship stats is a concept of semi-fungible tokens. So basically kind of cookie cutter NFTs, I guess, and they're going to be equipment. There's going to be 2 different types of equipment that you can build yourself. So you'll be able to either discover and find blueprints or possibly buy them on our marketplace. And then with those blueprints, you can buy these SFTs, these equipment upgrades. And there's 2 different classes. There's equipment that sticks with you as a player. So you can take it, move it from ship to ship. You can keep it with you when you sell a ship. You keep your equipment, but then there's also burn-in equipment. So each ship is going to have or has 1 slot per star rating. So if you have a 4-star ship, you have 4 upgrade slots. And these upgrade slots, think about it, it's basically a piece of equipment that enhances your ship, but it burns into the NFT. So when you use it, you use your resources and cores to build these pieces of equipment, and then you apply it to your NFT, your ship NFT, and it actually burns in, becomes part of the NFT's property, and then is now forevermore with that ship. It can be overwritten if you choose to get a better one later, right? You can overwrite it and upgrade your equipment. But it increases the value of the ship both in the game and also on the marketplace, because now that it actually burned in, so if you sell a ship, that particular upgrade is going to go with it. So this is our Genesis realm. We have 7 planets in our Genesis realm that we saw at the very top of the slide deck. We have Mitra, Milos, Athena, Tyrannus, Sheldine, and Vorvoid. So it's a piece of custom art that one of our artists drew for us to kind of show the layout of the solar system. And you'll be able to fly around the universe, travel to these planets, enter their orbit, and choose to go mining on them or choose to do combat on them, and things of that nature. So as stated earlier, we're also one of the plans for the planets is to offer land. So we will be having a land sale a little bit further down the road in the future, closer to game launch. This is some of our artist rendering and the team working with figuring out how we're going to actually carve up the land and how the plots are going to look and all that stuff. So this is some samples of that. And land ownership is going to give users a way to get some passive income, right? So by holding land, you're going to be able to lease it to other players and get a little passive income, some fees for letting people mine on your land. And there's advantages for people mining on your land because they're going to get some benefits, maybe some extra resources if it's mined land, maybe less chance of getting attacked, things of that nature. So we'll be watching for the land sale coming soon.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupt. Just watch out for the time. It kind of take a bit too long. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll speed it up a little bit. So here's the resources. We talked about the resources for a moment. The big part of the game is to collect the resources, discover them, flying around, mine land. You can use them to upgrade your ships. You can build your equipment. You can sell them on the marketplace to other players who want to do that. Which leads to the economy. So how sustainability achieved is creating demand for resources. So by using these resources and having people want to get them to build things and upgrade their ships and all that fun stuff, that creates demand for resources. So it's kind of that whole play to earn. You have some players are over there trying to get resources. Some people are trying to buy them and upgrade. There's a whole progression built into the game around that and building a nice player-to-player peer economy. The game itself, exploration, combat, and mining stages, as I mentioned. Here's a couple little shots of those. You enter the game, you're in a hangar. You select your ships. They come up on a platform. Here's your ships on the right, and then you can launch into the game. So exploration is flying around space. You're going to be able to find rewards. You can choose to attack NPC ships. You can get attacked by NPC ships, complete quests, and some other mechanics that we're building out there. As I mentioned, we're going to have mining. So here's a quick demo of the mining. So you're sending out drones, excavating, looking for your resources, and then you can collect those. Combat is turn-based strategy combat. So you're going to be able to take turns, swapping with the opponents, moving your ships around the deck, attacking, basically trying to destroy the other players. Kind of like a game of chess. We're going to have PvE, so player versus environment or NPCs. We're going to have PvP, player versus player. And our game can support up to 200 players in a single map. So we're looking to have some really huge co-op, some really big PvP battles, kind of on this turn-based strategy, guild wars, all that kind of stuff, leaderboards. Another quick. And if I can take one more minute to just show this quick demo. All right, so that wraps it up. That's so everything you saw there is actual game footage, right? So that's our actual combat game, the exploration game, the mining stage. So it's kind of this whole fluid connection of multiple games in one. We have lots of things planned for the coming months and even coming years to expand on this and add new things. Here's all of our socials. Definitely check us out on the website, join our community, and hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, John, for the presentation. Yeah, looks really interesting. Looking forward to see how it goes. And we're gonna move to the next project today. Which is the Velvet cap. Yeah. Good to see you guys again.
All right, awesome. Yeah, good to see you again. We'll try to keep it under 10 to 12 minutes to make sure we're not running out of time. All right. Hi, everyone. We're building Velvet.Capital. Velvet.Capital is a protocol that helps people create crypto portfolios, crypto indices, and other financial products with digital use. So DeFi space is obviously booming, so everyone is jumping on the train, but we see even professional investors are getting burned. So here you see Mark Cuban, one of the prominent angels. In his blog, he's actually bragging about the fact that he's investing in DeFi, a liquidity provider, and he's bragging about return of over 200%. But guess what? One of the tokens he invested in just tanked down to zero, and 200% of zero is still zero. So the question is, what can ordinary users do if even professional investors like this are getting hurt? The answer is very simple, and we're combining portfolio theory with yield farming. So first, on one hand, we make sure that we create diversified portfolios of digital assets so users can create indices and portfolios based on clear rules, for example, top by market cap. And then we make sure that each of the assets is plugged into one of the yield farming solutions, that is staking, lending, or liquidity provision. Now what we're building is a protocol. So it can be used as a platform for everyone to create products on top of, right? So users can create portfolios or indices using Velvet.Capital protocol. Other people can join and invest in their products. But we're also going to provide DeFi as a service to institutional players so that asset managers, DAOs, and others can also use our protocol to manage their digital assets.
Ankit?
Yeah, so our product is like very modular. So you can see here, once the user come, like they have an option to either to create or burn the investment what they have. So after that, like when the money is like given there, like when we are like minting the token, it goes into like various sub-modular components. So you can see here, like we are using Oracle. Oracle is basically used for like fetching the price of like an index token as well as an underlying token. There's like a strategy module and rebalancing module whose job is to basically upgrade and update the investment strategies over a period of time. Depends on like market condition and various other factors. There's like a vault as well. Vault is basically used for like storing your all the assets of the users. This is basically in the form of like multi-sig component, which makes it like kind of hack resistance over like a normal wallet. There's like a fee module as well, fee module and various like treasury yield farming module. These are like part of like a premium features. So yeah, this is like we will be showing you like the detail of like this whole workflow of the product during the demo session. Thank you.
Yes, and as you can see on the screen, this is our UI UX, right? One of the major problems that we are facing today in DeFi is pretty complex and complicated interfaces, right? So one of the things that we are actually double down today is the user experience, right? So it's simple, but yet pretty intuitive. Let me quickly show you how it's going to look. So basically that's, let's say you are on our website, right? That's what you're going to see. The first thing you can do is actually, well, obviously is connect your wallet. And there's two options, right? The first one, let's say you are the new to the DeFi, you don't have your own wallet, so you can actually create one using your email, as simple as that. So we are connected with the Magic Link. Or let's say you already have a wallet, right? You have your MetaMask, you just connect your MetaMask, so it's connected, and you select the portfolio. Now, there will be a portfolio created by Velvet.Capital, there'll be portfolio created by other users, or you can create your own. So let's say there is a top 15. So you decide to create this one. And again, super simple. You select the token that you want to deposit, right? You select the amount and you click create. So on top of the page, you can see your balance, you can see your return, your wallet, everything, right? And then the actual allocations of tokens. So let's say you want to press here and you will see, well, this portfolio is equally weighted. So therefore all of the tokens here, right? So let's come back to the presentation. So in terms of the competition, right, obviously there are a couple of established players today in the market, but with Velvet.Capital, we are bringing something new. So we have features that no one else have today, which includes additional interest from the yield farming. We are on top of that is going to add B2B offering. So as Vasily said, DeFi as a service, and flexibility in portfolio construction. And obviously we are the first company that's creating crypto indexes on the BNB chain. In terms of the roadmap, we are a super young company compared to the others today. So we are only like 2 months old, but we've already achieved all of our milestones for the Q1. For the next quarter, Q2, our main plan is obviously to launch it on the mainnet. And in upcoming weeks, we're going to launch the testing and bug bounty, security audit, and everything else. So the plan is to launch the actual product at the end of Q2 or even earlier. Our team is extremely experienced. It's a stellar team, and experience from all of the industries, including finance and technical. So we have people from BCG, from Deloitte, from Longhash, Ocean Protocol, Red Hat, and Chainlink. So right now, let me just quickly show you the our demo.
I present to you the demo of the Velvet.Capital. So here, this is our dashboard. In our dashboard, you can see there are two different tokenized portfolio. One is top 10 tokens based out of like market cap. Another one is top 5 metaverse token. This is on the NFT space. Top 5 like most popular NFT tokens on the metaverse space. So what I'm gonna do, let's say I want to buy a top 10 tokens in a single transaction. So for that, what I need to do, I need to buy the top 10 token. This is the name of our ERC20 token, a wrapped version of all these tokens. So I enter here the amount of token which I want to buy. Right now, I'm entering the worth of BNB for which top 10 token will be exchanged. So after entering the amount, what I'm going to do, I'll click on here, create, and confirm the transaction on MetaMask. So after confirming the transaction, what is happening in the background? It's gonna like buy me a top 10 token, which is basically a wrapped version of these tokens which we are seeing in our portfolio. So let me so here our investment got successful. Let me show you what happened in the background. I'll open here MetaMask, contract interaction, copy the transaction ID. I'll go on here on the BSC scan mainnet and enter the hash, transaction hash. And here we can see in a single transaction what is happening. We are basically buying a top 10 token, and this top 10 token is basically a wrapped version of these tokens, XRP, LTC, Shiba, ETH, BTC. And if I go on my MetaMask, you can see in my asset section, there is top 10 token, 0.019 top 10 token. So this is the token which I have bought, and this token is basically a wrapped version of these token. So this is the process of like buying the index for our product. Now let's say after a few weeks or after a couple of months, I want to sell it. Let's say I feel that I'm in like profit. The APY is around like 20 to 30%, and I'm like kind of happy with that. So what I'm gonna do, I'll enter the amount of like top 10 token which I want to exchange with BNB. I'll enter the amount here and click on the redeem process. So the redeem is basically the like another word of like withdrawal, you can understand. So here I'll enter the confirm, hit the confirm button. And when I'm hitting the confirm button, it will do the same process. It will first like take an approval. And what is happening in the background, while like buying any portfolio or selling any portfolio of like via the top 10 token, it is interacting with the PancakeSwap as a liquidity provider, and with that liquidity provider it is buying the wrapped version of all the tokens. So here again, like I'm going to copy the transaction ID and show you here the burn process or withdrawal process. So here you can see I have basically redeemed like my BNB by selling these token, and this token was holding the wrapped. This is basically a wrapped version of these token. It all these tokens got swapped from PancakeSwap. In later version, definitely we're gonna like integrate the 1inch as the liquidity provider and other like best exchanges. But yeah, this is the process of like buying and selling. So this product like we have released for like both testnet and mainnet. Right now the demo which I have given this, I have did it on mainnet. You can test it on testnet as well and give some sort of a feedback to our Discord channel. Feel free to like ask, hang out on our Discord if you have any questions, queries or suggestion.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks everyone for your time. I'll just open the floor to any questions. Chris, let me know if you get any questions from YouTube or any other channels.
Yeah, thank you very much, team, for the presentation. Actually, I don't have much questions from my side because it's also the second time that I heard the project demo session from you guys. So, yeah, and you guys have more time compared with last time. So, yeah, it's definitely a much detailed presentation to watch. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to see how it goes in the future. Yeah, and welcome Luke, who represent the Bogged Finance.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Sure, very clear.
Excellent. So a bit of a different pace for our discussion here, and I just want to thank all the other projects. It's been really interesting learning about you guys, particularly DeepSpace, which is looking to be a bit of an interesting GameFi project. So we are Bogged Finance. We're charts, DEX aggregation, limit orders, stop losses, and more for various chains, including the Binance chain, BNB chain. Sorry. So let's just jump in. I'm going to go through some of our products, some of the big picture stuff, and then I'll deep dive into some of our key products. So we do have quite a large suite of products. So our platform is trusted by hundreds of thousands. We have 3 million monthly users of our platform. That includes charts and everything. We get about 500,000 monthly transactions on our platform. And we have $80 million in weekly transaction volume via our platform. So we're growing fast and we're pretty excited about it. We've had a total of $1.5 billion in total trade value through our platform. Actually, 1.67 billion is the current figure. So what is Bogged Finance? So Bogged Finance is a set of tools that make it easier for you to trade tokens on the BNB chain and various other chains. We allow users to view real-time charts, wallet data, pair information. We also allow people to use our DEX aggregation to swap, snipe launches with our launch sniper, set limit orders, stop losses, and we also have a bunch of tools for token teams to help them grow their tokens as well. So our main product at the moment is BoggSwap. It's a DEX aggregator that aggregates. Unfortunately, this slide's actually a little bit outdated. We actually support 12. I think it's actually 16 DEXs on the BNB chain. I apologize. We do need to update our pitch deck. So we support PancakeSwap V1, V2, ApeSwap, MDEX, WaltSwap, BabySwap, BakerySwap, BuySwap, Synapse, Nerve, ACryptoS's stable swap pools, Eclipsis, Finance, and Busted GG on the BNB chain. We also support Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom, Kronos, Harmony One, KuCoin, Community Chain, Moonriver, OEC, and Hecko, and then a bunch of DEXs on those platforms. So when you trade with BoggSwap, your order there's no additional fees. Your order automatically routes through the best DEXs for the order, and I'll show you a bit more about that. We automatically account for tax tokens, so like SafeMoon or any tokens that have a fee on transfer. we allow you to automatically account for that without you having to mess around with slippage or anything like that. We also provide many other improvements over existing solutions, better error messages if there's issues with your order. You'll actually understand what they are, and we also have a bunch of improvements over existing solutions that ensure you can trade easier. We see people all the time being like, "Hey, have you tried Bogged Swap when you're having issues with other platforms?" And we see that as being like a great endorsement of our product. So we also have Bog Charts. This is our charting platform for BNB Chain and the Polygon chain tokens. So you can chart basically any token on those chains. You can view your, I'll dive deeper into this, but you can view wallet data. You can view your top tokens, what's been trending, that kind of thing. Well, limit orders is another big product of ours. We bring centralized exchange-like limit orders to DeFi. So we have a set and forget model, which you just enter your order. You pay the $2.5 fee in either Bog or in the native token for the chain. And it supports the BNB Smart Chain along with a few other chains. And the profits of this platform are returned to the stakers of the Bog token, which is our governance token. Again, with stop losses, we also bring a centralized exchange like stop loss platform to DeFi. We both support stop losses and trailing stop losses. We support BNB Smart Chain as well as a bunch of other chains. And again, the profits of this are returned to stakers of the Bog token on our platform. Finally, in terms of the main tools, we have our Launch Sniper. This allows you to target this allows advanced users to buy tokens on launch in a really computationally a really reliable way. It levels the playing field against bots, so real network participants can have the same advantage that some of the more adept developers have. It's a mempool scanning bot, and it has anti-sniper protection, so it won't buy if there are certain conditions that could result in you losing funds. It supports the BNB Smart Chain and launches on other chains later this quarter. So as I mentioned, the Bog token, everything on our platform is powered by the Bog token. You can hold Bog to unlock some premium features like trailing stop losses, the Launch Sniper, and you can also stake Bog to earn a portion of the platform's profits. At the moment, the Bog token returns, I think it's 9% APR on the staking, and that's all from profits. That's not our token's not inflationary, it's actually deflationary. You can also vote on governance proposals, and they'll build future utility as well. And it looks like the rest of my slides aren't working. So let's just jump straight into the second portion of this, which will be a little bit of a demo of our platform. So let's just see if I can share this. Give me 1 second. Awesome. So at the moment, this is the Bog Swap DEX aggregator. So as I said, we support 14 different DEXs across the platform, and you can trade any token you want. So in this example, I'm just using an example wallet here that's in my MetaMask. We can, I did like the DeepSpace platform before, so I loaded up their token. And what we can do is we can trade into that. So it's all very familiar if you've used Uniswap or any of the variants. But what we do is we allow you to trade through multiple DEXs. So this order here that we're proposing to do, we'll sell Banana on ApeSwap for WMB and then immediately buy DPS on PancakeSwap. So if there's any token taxes on DPS, that's not an issue. It'll automatically be accounted for. And we'll just go ahead and swap. So I'm just hitting confirm in MetaMask. And this will go through quite quickly. As you can see, we've also upped the gas here because obviously we want to make sure this happens quickly. You can customize your gas. There's also a bunch of other settings you can customize, and they'll be saved locally. So as you can see, we just had our, we just received the DPS tokens. We now have them in our wallet. So that's one of the great things about BogSwap. Now we have our limit order platform. At the moment, I don't have any limit orders set on this, but you can just set a very simple limit order. You can set limit sells, and you can set stop losses. We also have the ability to buy with fiat on our platform. The sniper requires 7,500 BOG to be held by the user to be able to use. And of course, you can stake your BOG tokens. So actually, at the moment on BSC, the staking APR is a bit lower than it was before, but it varies based on weekly platform profits. Of course, you can bridge your BOG to different chains and obviously stake it on different chains for a portion of those rewards. So this is our BOG chart platform, which I just briefly mentioned before as well. This allows you to explore the BNB smart chain. So we can quickly go ahead and have a look at, what sort of tokens are trending, what's got the biggest market caps. And then if you find something you like, let's say Chainlink, you can just hit Chainlink and load up a chart. Now you'll see every trade coming in live here. You'll also see how the token has been performing. If you want, you can add the token to your MetaMask really easily with this button here. You can set price alerts. So you can set a price alert if to alert you if the price increases by say 25%, and you can set that up to automatically ping you on Telegram or send you a browser-based notification. There's so much involved in this that we really couldn't spend. We could spend hours talking about everything here. We also have analytics, which will allow you to sort of look through a token, see if it's safe, especially a new token. It'll flag up any associated tokens that have been rug pulled. If there was any tokens that were created by the same deployer or anything like that have been rug pulls, it'll find them in a deep blockchain search. There's a bunch of really cool things we do here. And then we also have our trending tokens, and these are tokens that are very popular in BogSwap right now. Most viewed and promoted. So the BogSwap platform is growing fast. The Bogged Finance platform is growing fast. We're currently doing about $14–15 million a day in daily volume. You can actually see here that there's live transactions happening all the time. So we're really excited about that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else we need to go through. There's just one last thing really, and that's that would be the BOG price bot, and that's one of our tools we offer to token teams to help them grow. Unfortunately, I can't show it here at the moment. Actually, I think I can. Just bear with me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. Awesome. So the BOG price bot allows any token team to deploy a price bot, and whenever one of your users requests a price on the token, it'll automatically come back to you. Of course, it lags at the moment. Sorry, my internet's a bit funny when I stream, but it will automatically come back to you with a. Of course, Telegram lags at the moment. I apologize, but it will come back to you automatically with a price and a chart and the option to buy the token. You can also set up custom commands. You can set up buy alerts so that any buys that are automatically that are done on your token are automatically sent into your chat to sort of hype up your chat. There's a bunch of other really cool things you can do with it. I'll just show you the creator real quick for it. Obviously, my Telegram is lagging a little bit, which is just not great, is it, during a live demo? But things like that always kind of happen. So token teams can go to tgbot.bogged.finance to create their own token, to create their own bot. So we'll just quickly make one for test. And it looks like this when someone calls the /price command. So it shows you a nice little chart and gives you an option to view the chart or swap it. Then there's a bunch of things you can do, like create custom commands. You could create for example, a meme command, and then have a bunch of images that randomly cycle based on at random, or a dice command, for example. So these are all sort of interesting tools that we provide for token teams to help them grow their platform. And you can you can visit tgbot.bogged.finance to explore that. I guess that's all I really have for you today.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much, Luke, for the very detailed introduction. Really appreciate your time. Yeah, and also I think that'll be it for today. I also really very thank for all 5 teams that doing a great job today for presenting here. You guys all did a very great job, and it is really helpful for all the audience today to understand what you guys are trying to do. And I believe hopefully you guys could all enjoy the time building your products and kick off the next best products in the both BNB chain and probably whole Web3 industries. Yeah, thank you guys very much for the presentation and time today, and hope you guys doing great. See you guys soon.
Awesome. Great job, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, cheers.
Bye-bye.